Hi, it's me again with Corel Roll Tips and Tricks. And somebody sent me this logo. It's not really too bad. It's got some shadowing built into it. And of course, it's got a white background. You can tell it's a bitmap or a JPEG because the gray bounding box when you're moving it. It's only less than 4 inches big, so I'm not going to reduce it. I'm not going to change the resample because it's already over 300 or at 300. I'm just going to go to Trace Bitmap, Outline Trace Clip Art, which I use 99% of the time. It traces it pretty good. At first, I didn't think it traced because the fonts kind of look, the bigger fonts kind of looks like sloping, but that's the way it is in the normal font. The championship, no, the baseball, Mississippi State baseball didn't trace as good. It's a little bad, but we can fix that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this logo and we're going to go to object and we're going to group and ungroup. You can manually get rid of all that white and that stuff, but we need it to be black anyway. So we're going to go to edit, find and replace, double click on edit query, menu will come up. The last thing I used was the uniform color field, so it'll come up. I'm going to double click on the text part of that. This is going to come up with an eyedropper down here. Take that maroon looking color and eyedrop it. Hit OK, OK, and find all. It's already done it, so I'm going to go Control G to group it, and then I can move that out of the way. Look at all the trash it left behind. Let me take this, let me draw another yellow box. I've got that one locked. I want you to see all the trash that it left behind. Saved us a lot of time, a lot of space. All the whites, all the grays, everything is gone. So now what we need to do is take this logo back in. We don't need the yellow box, but I'm going to use it. And I'm going to lock the yellow box right now. I'm going to go to Object and Lock. That way, when I start trying to grab something, the only thing I don't like the way it did the Mississippi State baseball text right here. So it's still grouped together. So I'm going to go to Object, Group, and Ungroup. Because it's not, I can't grab the yellow box anymore. I can actually nudge that down. Let me see how far my nudge is. Let's just nudge it down like 1 inch. Let's grab all that baseball and nudge it down. I've already typed it out and got a font pretty close. And see, this way you can kind of make sure it's kind of the same font. It's a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger. But unless you're doing it for somebody from the college, if you're just doing it for a friend, he's graving on a cutting board. So now what I can do is I'm going to group all this together, Control G, and I'm going to set my new text right on top of it. And then I'm going to nudge it up and put it right where it was. The only other thing I would do is I would change this trademark symbol, take the shape tool and just delete them. I personally wouldn't run them. I wouldn't put the trademark in there because it's going to be so little, but we'll go ahead and put the trademark in it. I would use a thicker font because this is like reverse engraving. And what better font to use than College Block? Then I would take it and put it in my logo because it's in that corner. I would actually probably take it and make it a little bit smaller. And then I'd actually take the shape tool and get these handles right here and separate the letters a little bit. Now, I'm going to grab the text and I'm going to left click, right click. Now I'm going to grab the logo and left click, right click. And then I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and I'm going to fill it in with black. So that's called reverse engraving. Now for the rest of it, we can just turn it black. But what I also kind of looked at is the only other letters it didn't trace very good is like the 20. Just delete them. We actually got the 21 and the 20. Just put them in there. I've already made them the same size. If you didn't make them the same size, you could make them the same size when you're drawing it. Now the only thing we have to do is turn the whole logo black, so we can just left click black. And other than that, I think it's ready to run. There's some roughness. And what I would do is sometimes there might be a line. See, there's actually two copies of that line. Take the one we just filled in. I don't know really how that happened. Um, but then, let me get rid of this. And if the person I'm doing it for, if you want to look for a better logo, like that right there, what is that? Is part of the bleacher, but just take your shape tool and just delete it. I think it'll be a better engraving. A couple of these, like windows could be better. Delete those two, select those two, right click and turn them into a line. Delete that one. And, just make the windows a little more, I'm going to say perfect. Right click, turn it into a line. You could actually do that all the way across, but some of the windows could be bigger and smaller. Other than that, here's a couple of little bloops and bleeps. Um, what is this right here supposed to represent? Just delete it. And delete that and delete that, and you've got a totally different look. Maybe on the bleachers, but clean it up a little bit, but maybe make this go here, add another node and put it there, and maybe combine these two, or have a separation between them, make them look more realistic. Other than that, I don't see anything wrong with it. I hope that helps him a little bit. Thank you for watching.